Adrian Cole was one of the most powerful men in Texas. At 40, he owned skyscrapers, luxury estates, and a fortune most people could only dream of. To the outside world, he was a symbol of success. But to his two young children, Ethan and Lily, Adrian was little more than a name whispered over rushed phone calls and broken promises. Since the tragic death of his wife, Adrian had buried himself in work, convincing himself it was the only way to cope. He gave his children everything money could buy: private schools, expensive clothes, the newest gadgets. But what they truly craved, the presence of their father, was what he withheld most. Filling that void was Rosa, the quiet maid who had been with the family for 3 years. Adrian hardly noticed her, treating her presence as part of the background, like the ticking of clock. But to Ethan and Lily, Rosa was everything. The bedtime storyteller, the gentle healer of scraped knees, the warm embrace when memories of their mother left them sobbing in the night. What Adrian never knew was that Rosa, too, carried a wound. She had once lost her only child in a terrible accident. The grief had carved her heart hollow, leaving her spirit heavy. But in Ethan and Lily, she found a reason to love again, a chance to give what she could no longer give to her own child. One late afternoon, Adrian's instincts told him to leave the office early, something he rarely did. His meetings could wait. A strange pull guided him back to the sprawling glass-walled mansion on the hill. Family vacation packages. As he stepped inside, he expected silence, the usual stillness of an empty palace. But instead, laughter echoed through the grand halls. Light, joy, a sound he had not heard in his home for far too long. Following the voices, Adrian reached the dining room door. What he saw stopped him cold. Rosa stood at the table, apron dusted with flour, smiling as Ethan and Lily decorated a homemade chocolate cake. Their little hands were sticky with icing, their faces smeared with cream. The children giggled uncontrollably as Rosa gently wiped a smudge from Lily's cheek, then ruffled Ethan's hair. It wasn't a maid serving her employer's children. It was something else entirely. Rosa looked like a mother, and his children looked like they belonged. Adrian's chest tightened. He pressed a hand over his mouth, eyes stinging. Not because of the cake, not because of the mess, but because of the love, pure, radiant, and alive, filling the room. In that moment, he understood. Rosa, the woman he barely acknowledged, was giving his children the one thing he had failed to provide: a sense of family. Family vacation packages. He remembered his late wife's last words. "They don't need riches, Adrian. They need you." He had broken that promise. But Rosa had kept it alive. Adrian stepped forward, voice trembling. He could only manage 2 words. "Thank you." Ethan and Lily looked up and instantly understood. They ran to him, wrapping their small arms around their father. For the first time in years, Adrian wept openly, not from grief but from love. From that day forward, everything changed. Adrian put away his phone during dinners, read bedtime stories, and joined the children in the kitchen, laughing at his own clumsy attempts to bake. Slowly, the mansion shed its coldness and began to feel like a home again. And Rosa? Adrian no longer saw her as a shadow. He saw her strength, her quiet devotion, the heart that had been shattered yet still found a way to give love. She had not only cared for his children, she had saved them, and him too. One evening, as Adrian stood in the doorway watching Rosa and the children play under the soft glow of the chandelier, he realized something profound. That simple decision to come home early, a choice made on instinct, had changed his life forever. Not the contracts, not the millions, not the empire. What mattered most was right here: laughter, love, and the fragile, beautiful bonds of family.